You need to absorb your pain, and then you need to convert that into resilience, power, fortitude, growth, strength. A lot of people let their pain demolish them. Their father left them. Their parents beat them. They didn't get enough attention as a kid. These things are actively destroying our people. You need to understand that pain is the biggest growth factor in a man's life, in a woman's life, in a superior individual's life. The best people on earth have the most pain because they don't want anyone to suffer that same pain. Now, we live in a reality in a modern society where everyone's suffering in silence. They're not going to tell you their problems up front and direct. They're going to be walking around in a state of cadence, and they're going to be catering towards their wounds. They're going to be passive aggressive. They're going to be thoroughly thwarted. They're going to hate you and themselves, and then they're going to passively walk around projecting that into reality. They are going to emanate the lowest version of themselves. They're going to drink their pain away. They're going to smoke their pain away. Every time you put that cigarette in your mouth, you're putting a tampon in your mouth. Sigmund Freud broke that down. Psychoanalysis. You need to understand that these people are trying to escape themselves, and it's because they've suffered. They didn't absorb it. They didn't run through the brick wall. No, they succumbed to circumstance, then they deviated from their best interest for their self-interest. They chose to stay down when they could have got up. They chose to belittle themselves instead of grow, expand, and understand that sometimes you just get fucked up in life. But what fucks you up is what makes you stronger. What kills you makes you stronger. That's a fact. You have to understand that if you're not absorbing your pain will destroy you. You need to become the individual you always needed. People are always depending on others for validation extraction. They need to feel good about themselves. They need to cater to themselves. They need someone to validate their existence. They need to feel accommodated for existing. They need to feel. They'll feel with the drink. They'll feel with the smoke. They'll feel with the individual that hates them, but they just want to have sex. They want to be lustful. They want to overindulge in certain substances. They want to destroy themselves because they're not facing their pain. The root of all evil is what you are not facing in your life, what you're not looking in the eyes and understanding. That is what's destroying you. You need to go into the mirror, look in your eyes, and you need to look at yourself and ask yourself, is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? And then when you get the answer, you need to fix what the fuck is making you not want to be you. Because if you wanted to be you, you wouldn't walk around life being a low emanation, low version of yourself. You need to be maximizing, self-optimizing in every fucking metric of your existence, whether that's physically, financially, whether that's mentally, spiritually. You need to be connected to yourself. A lot of people don't even have a proper connection to themselves. Then they have to conform to society, and then they try to extract validation from it's so weird. It's so weird. An individual will conform to society. So when you see a group of individuals and they all have the same clothes and they all act the same and they all talk in the same way, they're conforming to each other because they're afraid to be different. They're afraid to be unique. They're afraid to express their authentic self. They rather conform and be like everyone else. A sheep in a herd. Herd mentality, slave morality. And that's why they're never going to live, create, and be the person they always needed and needed to become. You have to understand that when we were born into reality, we had a special purpose, but we need to adversity into strength, into power, and we need to will power as an individual. These people are willing validation extraction from other individuals that don't even have the necessary qualities of being to even validate them. So you're being validated by people that don't have the, what would I say? the eloquency to validate you. You are literally just projecting this pygmy figmentation of yourself, a fractured version of yourself. Every time you pick up the drink, every time you pick up the smoke, you are catering to your wounds. You need to open the wound. You need to see what's making you bleed. You need to develop yourself. A Band-Aid of a cigarette isn't going to fix your bleeding. It's internal bleeding that you're going through. You need to understand that you need to develop yourself. So you go into the link, you click the link, and then you buy the program to develop yourself. You have to understand that you're going to stay the same thwarted, low-quality individual if you don't individuate. And there's no better way to individuate than getting around individuals who are already doing that, who have already been doing that. We have a track record of our habits every day, 3 a.m. Every day, gym. We don't take a rest day. We're not in the gym for muscle. How strong is your mind? How long can you do the same habit day in, day out? And not the smoke habit, not the drink habit, but a habit that actually tests your nerve. A habit that makes you not want to do it because it's painful. You either will suffer the pain of regret and the pain of taking up that drink, that smoke, and catering to your own wounds, or you can go into the fucking gym and muscle it out. You can go into the depths of your being in your mind and look into the eyes of you and look into your soul and look at the individual you don't want to be so you can become the one you need to be to become the individual you always needed. Too much people are suffering in silence. The modern man is suffering in silence. And the reason he's suffering is because he isn't experienced the life he wants to experience. But before you can experience the life you want to experience, you need to experience yourself the way you want to experience yourself. Because if you can't experience yourself, then the outside external reality doesn't fucking matter. You need to configure, you need to make sure and ensure that you are being the man, the individual, the woman that you want to be in life. And if you can't be that, if you can't take up your cross and ensure you become that individual by running through the fucking wall like a bull and facing adversity head on and absorbing the pain like a primordial fucking beast, then you're not gonna become the individual you always needed. Everyone wants to be that guy. Everyone wants to be that woman. Everyone wants to be validated. Go validate yourself, and validate yourself by finding the most difficult task to bear and bearing it. That's in the Bible. I mean, come on. You think this modern society shit is the way we're supposed to be? Nah. That modern society shit is all conformity. You've been living in an illusion. You've been lying to yourself way too long. You are in the body. You are in the vessel you don't want to be in. You are in the mind you don't like being. So you need to evolve, and you need to find out what's distorting you. What's distorting your perception? You need to look at the cause before you can diagnose the effect. If you are being affected to feel a certain way when you wake up, you're not waking up the individual you want to be. There's an underlying cause. There's an underlying motive that's causing you, that's affecting you to feel that way. A simple law of cause and effect. Write down all the causes. Look at the effects. What's fucking you up in life? You need to go into the community and you need to get around like-minded individuals that are developing themselves every day. You need to be around the people you want to be like, because if you are around individuals you don't want to be like, what the fuck you think you're going to become? You are who you hang around. Get around individuals who are actively being successful. If you can't be successful, you need to be around individuals that are, and watch how you naturally form into a successful individual. As my clients, as my students are being actively. You're poor, you're addicted, you're out of shape. I wouldn't want to be you either. I wouldn't want to wake up in your reality either. I would be miserable like you. But I'm not, you know? We're primordial as fuck. We're not demons, we're angels. And angels, as angels, we have a certain way of expressing to ensure the message gets embedded into your fucking consciousness so you can start expressing yourself authentically. The truth is brutal. But what's even more brutal is being the individual you don't want to be and living a life you don't want to live. Because if you're not living the life you don't want to live, what's the point of fucking living? There isn't. So we don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Because that's when shit gets messy. Literally. Go ahead, click the link, develop yourself, go to my Instagram, DM me if you want to be a part of the movement. Self-Development Center. We are developing, we are mastering, we are being and succeeding. And that's all there is to it. If you can't do that, stay the fuck on the sideline while we dominate the field. Simple. Soul, soldier,